Confined Space Entry for Non-Marine Facilities. Chapter 1. Today, we are going to talk about both confined spaces and permit-required confined spaces, how to differentiate between the two, and confined space entry. Confined space safety applies to all confined space work performed in permanent, fixed facilities on construction sites must be performed in accordance with EM 385 1-1, Section 34, 29 CFR 1910.146, and ANSI Z117.1 safety requirements for confined spaces. What is a confined space? I get asked this a lot, so I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone else, and we'll go from there. A confined space is an area that is not really designed for people. However, the space is large enough for workers to enter the space and perform certain tasks. A confined space has limited or restricted means for entry or exit and is not designed for continuous occupancy. In other words, a confined space doesn't have a door you open, you don't walk to your desk, and you can't sit down at your desk and work in this space. A confined space may have limited means of entry and exit, meaning you may have to squeeze through the space. When you try and envision a confined space, imagine tanks, vessels, storage bins, vaults, and pits as examples. You may be working in a tunnel, a manhole, a pipeline, or even ductwork. These are confined spaces as well. There are two classifications for all confined spaces: permit-required confined space and non-permit-required confined space. A permit-required confined space is a confined space with one or more of the following four factors. Factor 1. A confined space that either contains or has the potential to contain a hazardous atmosphere, such as gas. Factor 2. A confined space that contains material which has the potential to engulf an entrant. Factor 3. The space has inwardly converging walls or a floor sloping down to a smaller cross-section. Examples of this could be hoppers, silos, and dust accumulators. And Factor 4. A confined space that has any other recognized hazards. Here's an example of a permit-required confined space that resulted in a horrible accident which could have been avoided. This one falls under Factor 1, hazardous atmosphere. 4 construction workers were working in a newly built and inactive sewer system on a job site that was occupied for over a week. Inactive meaning the system was not hooked up yet. A few minutes after they started working, the crew noticed that the foreman was missing and a manhole cover was removed. While one worker called emergency services, a second worker entered the manhole to assist the foreman and found him unresponsive at the bottom of the 20-foot manhole. When the second worker became disoriented inside the manhole, another worker used a fan to blow fresh air into the manhole, and the second worker was able to climb out, but not the foreman. The foreman was retrieved by fire department personnel and was later pronounced dead due to asphyxiation. So what could have been the cause of this incident? There were probably several reasons. Think about this. Even though the manhole was new and the sewer system was not hooked up, a hazardous atmosphere still existed, and the hazardous atmosphere resulted in the worker's death. So here are the most likely causes of this incident. Number 1. The employer did not ensure that atmospheric hazards were identified and precautions for safe operations implemented before starting work at the site. Number 2. The workers were not trained to recognize confined space hazards, so they didn't know the appropriate protective measures to take. Number 3. The atmosphere in the manhole was clearly not assessed to determine if conditions were acceptable before or during entry. Number 4. Proper ventilation was not used to control atmospheric hazards in the manhole.
Hi, I'm Jesse from Titan University, the leader in government construction safety, quality control, and environmental training. We hope you enjoyed the module preview from our online course, Confined Space Safety on Government Construction Projects. Please like, share, and comment if you did. We'd really appreciate it. If you want to learn more or get your Confined Space Safety Certificate, head on over to Titan University by clicking the link below. Our courses are affordable and easy to comprehend. Plus, we also have course materials you can download to assist you. The Confined Space Safety course has several modules. But take your time. All of our courses save your place if you have to walk away. Take as long as you like to complete it. Please don't forget to like and share. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. We're happy to assist and hope to see you over on Titan University.